Okay, let's have a quick off-the-cuff look at the cast and credits. It's always, of course, Jewish actors 100% for the last 100 plus years on Hollywood, and the fictional characters are also Jewish as well. Jewish names, they just are so in on themselves, they can't even bring themselves to use Gentile names, even as fictional characters. It's amazing. Alright, so starting off with, you got the CO prefix of Coppola, you've got Ford Motor Cars, Harrison Ford, right? Ford, Jewish name. Right, going on. Good one, Bruce Willis, another confirmation that Willis, and yes, Cilla Black's son, Bob Willis. Al Capone. That's another good one. Buster Keaton, Diane Keaton, and the Birdman, Michael Keaton. A lot of these Sephardic Jewish names are difficult to find. I've been through the more Teutonic ones, but and of course I've been through the Sicilian ones, and some of them are obvious, and some of them are not so obvious. Interesting name, Shire. Right, here's the man himself, Hyman Roth. Red. Hyman Red. Okay, so Lee. It's interesting how the graffiti artist Lee was the one that was the film was made out from what's it called, the Wild Style, the old graffiti film. Just happens to be a Jewish surname, General Lee. Lee Cooper. So you got Lee Strasberg, of course, but Berg. So you got your Berg, your first Berg of the day. Perfect. You got Karl Marx. Doesn't matter whether there's an X on the end or a KS. There's lots of variations on names, isn't there? Zinner and Malkin, Yiddish. Van Runkel, that's Dutch Jewish. Yiddish. Sephardic. Bright is the name of a new movie, isn't it? Moshkin. Roski. That's interesting. Roski. So you got your Roth, your Jonathan Ross and Roth, etc. Kirby. Oh, excellent. Again, we're back to that name, Kirby. Mission Impossible Fallout. The what's her name? Vanessa Kirby or something. The blonde girl, the English girl, as it were, but she's English Jewish, of course. Yeah, the name Kirby comes up again. That's the third time I've seen it recently. Right, another Sivarobi, another Sephardic one. Very important name, King. Martin Luther King must have been a big psyop back in the 1960s, because the name King, Jonathan King, Billie Jean King, the lesbian tennis so-called star who breaks in all the young girls into the Masonic lesbian tennis circuit, right? Billie Jean King. Lots of examples of the Jewish name King, which would be Kagan again, really. So that's everywhere. Right, now the name Hill comes up very rarely. It's not a Jewish name, but it is used. So like Hill and Hall are used, but there's like McDonald's. It's a Gentile name, but it is used. Like, and Miller, you wouldn't think Miller is, but it's a really big Jewish name. Trieste, Shienese, Amerigo Tot, Donahue. That's another one of those Irish Jewish names. Of course, there's so many. Prayer, I don't know that one. Spinel, Spinoza, Rota. Again, you got the old red again. This is another red code, isn't it? Roth, Hyman Roth, Hyman Red. Interesting how the music's just cut out, but who cares? Copper again. Walter, that's Dutch. Sorry, German, Yiddish, merchandise. I bet that's where you get the name merchandise, because they are the Phoenician merchants, right? The merchants of Venice. Merchandise. Yes, bet that's where it comes from. Graham, excellent one, Graham. Now, that all the American evangelists, like Billy Graham, the old Billy Graham. Graham is a Jewish surname, and it's very often an Irish Jewish surname. Graham, big one. That's a big one. Again, whenever you see a name in the media, you can always think of lots of other examples of it. Willie Nelson, there you go. Nelson's Column. Again, Nelson's got to be a Jewish name, and Nelson himself must have been Jewish. Yeah. I mean, it goes way back. It goes back to Thomas Becket, and what's the other one? Cromwell, the CRO prefix. That's a big one. I'm going to have to do a video on that. CO, CRO, CRA, KO, KA, KRA, CLO. All these prefixes. Jewish. Schramm, Yiddish, Dick Smith. And you see, like William Smith, you just don't know with the Smiths, because again, that's a Gentile name. Schmidt, it'll be Yiddish, of course, Schmidt. Glick, yes. Arnold, like Tom Arnold. Again, a first name as a surname. Jessica Lang, good one. Jessica Lang. Myers, which is May, Theresa May, Mayer, Meyer, Myers, and Major, John Major. Mike Cusley, I don't know that one. Hopkins, you see? Anthony Hopkins, Alan Hopkins, and Anthony Hopkins. You see, you wouldn't think that that's a Jewish name. You wouldn't think that Anthony Hopkins is Jewish. You know, you just say, oh, he's Welsh. Yeah, he's Welsh-Jewish. But Blue Steen. So you got your first Steen of the day. Steen, big one. There you go. Colby again. The Colbys, the Dallas and the Colbys. Yeah, CO prefix. Seagert and Seafert. Fenton. Feinberg. There's your second Berg. Feinberg is classic. Skelton. Yes. Nick Skelton. Isn't that the horse rider, Nick Skelton? Yeah, Skelton. Another Jewish name. No, everybody in sport that is put on a pedestal, just about everybody, nearly everybody, is Jewish. And I got to do this further look into who the pop bands are. Going back to the 60s all the way through. Who are they? These bands that just get foisted onto the radio and the TV screens. Who are they? Hebrew products. It's a Hebrew product line, just like Hollywood. Fine. Fine is a very classic. Again, like Feinstein, the gun grabber. Another variation on Fine. Peterson. So you got Jurassic Liars' sons. Yes. Ella Fitzgerald. Done. Kevin. Henry Cavill, you see. Cav. Henry Cavill. Osborne, Ozzy Osbourne. Oh, this is getting good. Ozzy Osbourne, you see? And Frank Oz of the Muppets. Selig, Yiddish. Newman, Gary Newman, the pop star Gary Newman. Welsh. So you've had English, and you've had Welsh. That's interesting, isn't it? McArdle, you wouldn't think that is, but it's got to be. Burke's Peerage, and the Burke. Oh, was it Michael Burke? Oh yes, there's a Michael Burke, and then there's the other Burke who did the moon interviews and things. You know, that nonsense. Burnt. Yeah, like Brandt, Willy Brandt. Kurtz, isn't that the name of Apocalypse Now? Marlon Brand. Yes, Brand. Fruchtmann. Beals. Yes. There was okay, so there's Jessica Biel, but there's also Beals, isn't there? There was Flashdance? Jennifer Beals from Flashdance. Yep, Beals and Beal. Fritz Klingon. I bet if that's where we get Klingon from. Klinger. Wasn't there a Klinger in one of the... Yes, MASH. There was a Klinger in MASH. Jackson. Oh, that's a good one, because you got Peter Jackson, the director. Burger. So just, again, this is how we get hamburger as well, isn't it? Burger. And we've got Marlon Brando again. George Brand. And, oh, that gay guy, what's his name? I can't even think of his name. Brand, Russell Brand, sorry. Yes, Flowers. Again, that's a big one. Kim Flowers. Anything to do with flowers, fields, feld, bloom, forest, tree, Baumgarten, Carter. Excellent. I haven't got it long now. Carter, President Carter. Big one. Matheson. So we got Mr. Matheson from Animal House. Yes. Friedman, well, of course. Pianti, Zinner, Gerling, Garechti, Rose. Yes, there's Ruby Rose or something. That lesbian. Holmes, big one. Elohim, Holmes, and Watson. Both are Jewish names. Wilborn, never heard of it. Boxer, Franco, Bachman, Barbara Bach from 007. Doug Madison. Good. That's it. Good.